What's up, y'all? Welcome to today's video where I will be showing 10 tips and tricks for those of you looking to get into New World, Amazon's newest MMORPG. I'd like to preface this by saying that all of my knowledge comes from the beta, so anything in this video is subject to change, and if anything does change, I will do my best to update you all here or with a new video if necessary. But with that being said and done, let's get straight on with the list. So the first tip I have for you all is that wearing a shield when not using the sword and shield weapon mastery or having a sword equipped does not give you any sort of benefits. You don't gain the stats from the shield, whether it be strength, constitution, or dexterity, nor do you gain an extra protection that a shield would normally give you when using the sword and shield weapon mastery. In fact, as you can see in this next clip, you could actively be harming yourself by increasing your character's weight class, making it so you could potentially no longer roll or sidestep. Tip number 2 is going to be about tracking gatherable resources. When you unlock the ability to track a resource, you could track it with the compass on top of your UI. Most of the time it'll be flooded with turkeys and rabbits and the like because they're pretty much everywhere. However, when close to trackable ore and herbs, they will also appear up there. However, you do need to be within like 20 meters or so to actually track something. If you're looking to know when a certain resource is going to be trackable or if it is trackable, just enter your trade skill page and click on the profession or trade skill you're looking for, and it should tell you when you're able to gather it and when you're able to track it. For example, silver is able to be gathered at 10 mining and tracked at 35, while stuff like platinum can't be tracked until 135. Tip number 3 is that crouching and proning reduces the distance at which people could see your nameplate. As far as I know, crouching and proning have 2 different distances. However, in this clip, it doesn't seem to be showing a difference in distance, but you need to get pretty damn close to somebody when they're prone for you to see their nameplate, which you could use to set up some cheeky ass ambushes if you use it correctly. So my 4th tip goes out to all the people that don't like to use the campsites or just don't take advantage of them. Always try to keep a campsite near you that you have set for your respawn location, especially if you're into PvP. The reason I try to always tell people to have an active campsite is because if you die, even if you're close to the settlement, 1, it'll save you a decent run back, and then 2, you don't have to wait the 30 seconds of the PvP toggle time, so you could just respawn and get right back into the fight and help your homies. Or if you're anything like me, you know, you could end up missing all your shit when you respawn and probably just die again, just like this. So another campfire trick. So say I'm in Windsward. I have a camp in Brightwood, and I need to get back to Brightwood right now. I could commit Sudoku, and I could spawn all the way up in Brightwood for free. Thus giving you a free fast travel. So this could be pretty useful for anyone just trying to save AZOTH. Or say you go from settlement to settlement to settlement because you have resources all over the place crafting. If you just travel all over the world a lot, this will just save you a lot of currency. So tip number 6 is going to be about resetting town project board missions. Every 15 minutes or so, I think it's 15 minutes, this town board resets and gets new missions. So if it's a mission that you've had for longer than 15 minutes, say I've had this one right here, I've had it for a couple days, I can't get any strong regen potions and I can't make any. If I just abandon the mission, a new one will appear immediately. If it's one that I just got, say this cooking one, I just pick it up, but I don't want to do it, if I just reset it, a new one will take its place when on the next reset. So tip number 7 is going to be about using faction seals to swap the stats on the armor pieces from your faction vendor. If you go to your faction vendor and go to the rewards, you could look for these brigand seals, cleric seals, and barbarian seals to change the stats on the gear from here. say right now I'm using all dexterity constitution gear. Say I want to change a piece to this strength and constitution while keeping it on the medium way or light, say. You can then go to whichever you would craft the armor at. So if you're modifying heavy armor, you'd go to the forge. If you're modifying light or medium, you go to the outfitting station. You need to unequip said piece because I'm done. And then if you look right here, you'll see seals. You'll need 1 seal, you'll need the item, and you will need 50 AZOTH. Once you hit craft, it'll give you, as you can see, the medium headwear. Now with strength and constitution, the only thing it does is it takes the socket out and you'll have to put a new socket in, but I mean, that's not a huge deal at all. And then you can do this for all the pieces you'd like. That way you could have a full strength light set if you'd like, or you could have a full like intellect focus heavy set if you want to go the other way maybe. So tip number 8 is going to be that you shouldn't be scared of spending your AZOTH. AZOTH, at least once you get past level 20 or so, it's relatively easy to come by. You get it in a bunch of side quests, even if it's only 20, it adds up. You get it in a bunch of the main quests, you get it just from killing random mobs. You could get little perks on your weapons, or not weapons, on your farming tools that give you AZOTH on a chance of farming. So it's pretty easy to get a decent amount, and it's honestly pretty easy to almost hit cap very often. So just do not hesitate on spending your AZOTH, whether it be on changing gear sets or adding AZOTH to gear to make perks and shit, or for whatever reason, say you just want to fast travel a lot. I would do it. It's pretty easy to get the AZOTH back, as I only have 74 left right now because I've been spending it going all over the place. But if I just go do some quests or kill some mobs, go farm, I could easily get another 150 back in like 20 minutes. The next tip I have for you all would be to upgrade your farming tools as much as you can as you go and level up. Because if you're anything like me and you like to just hit trees and just pretty much hit everything and farm everything on the way to wherever you're doing, on the way to your quest, on the way to your settlement where you're going, this will greatly increase your efficiency. Because as you can see, just the difference between the flint logging axe and the iron one is almost double the gather speed. And the second you start getting these other ones, you can start putting the perks on them, like the extra yield %. And then once you go from iron to steel, it's another 100% gather speed almost. And then you could have more perks and so on and so forth, just going up and up. And it will just greatly increase the efficiency of everything you farm. And that goes for the sickle, the skinning knife, the pickaxe, pretty much everything. So the 10th and final tip I have for you today has to do with gemming gear. When gemming a piece of gear, you have to match elements on the gear. You cannot mix fire and ice, for example. So say like this musket has chain fire on it. I cannot take this ice gem and put it on it. See how it's not a large circle? It doesn't let me select it, but I could put this gem into pretty much any other piece of gear. Same thing with this lightning gem. It won't let me mix lightning with fire. However, the second I go to this cut flawed ruby, which is a fire gem, it lets me mix it in. You're allowed to mix the same elements with the same elements. However, like this one has an empty gem slot. However, the other perk has nothing to do with an element. I could put any of these gems into here and it would work just fine. But if your weapon has an element on it, you need to match that element. So just be careful when either buying gear or if you're crafting a piece of gear and you want a certain element on it, just make sure it doesn't have another element on it already. And that's it, you guys. 10 tips and tricks for those of you whether you're just looking to get into New World or you've been playing the beta a bit. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with any of the tips I gave, or if you know any tips that I missed and you'd like other people to know. I hope you at least found something in this video useful, and if you did, don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button for future videos. Peace out, y'all.